TJ Fillery, how we doing, fella?
I'm all good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, mate, I'm really, really good. Thanks for coming on, and hope that this works, doing this visually for the first time.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Smashing it so far. You'll be
Thank you,
all
mate.
good.
So, a weekend of two halves. What's your thoughts on it?
Personally, I don't think it was too bad. Personally, I
Mm.
mean, going to Streatham with two lines is tough,
Yeah,
but they're still beatable, as we've proven before. I mean, I think yesterday was good. Got off to a good start, a blinding start, and I think
yeah, well,
you always got off to a good start when you look like that. I don't know if it was 2 minutes, 5 minutes in, they call a timeout after 2-0. You know you've got them rattled.
yeah.
So,
It was. I think it was 3-0 at 2:27, and they called a timeout.
so yeah, see, so and for us personally, it's quite rare to jump on someone that quick. We did. You look
Yeah,
like last week how Streatham jumped on us. We was in the same situation. Timeout, refresh again, and it got better from there. So,
yeah,
but personally, I think it weren't a bad weekend.
yeah. I think there was probably enough chances in the Streatham game to make it a lot closer than it looked at the end.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely.
But
But
yeah,
I think that comes down to like tactics and stuff like that, and how we wanted to play, and
mm.
obviously going with two lines, you don't want to go straight into a game and just blow yourself out straight away. So
No,
for us, it
60
was
minutes
kind
is a
of
long time, isn't it?
for us it was kind of sit back, absorb the pressure, keep them on the outside, and let them play in the corners, do what they want to do, and then when we get that chance, we'll pounce on it, and if nothing comes of that chance, you come back and we start again, and see what happens. And I think that is what you've got to do when you're short bench like that.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, looking through the chances, their netty got the man of the match quite rightly. I think he saved, I think it was 47 shots in total in the game.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, he's a good goalie. He's a good goalie.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of our shots we were shooting quite far out. It wasn't really sort of like looking for a tic-tac-toe and dragging left, right and centre. We was just sort of, if we got that chance to shoot, we was just trying to shoot and follow up rebounds and do
Yeah.
what you can do to try and get something out of it.
Often the best way, as you say, when you're short benched is to just try to get the dirty little rebounds.
Yeah, and I suppose like with Streatham as well, they've got a few young players, but I think personally, I'm not 100% sure, but I'd say the majority of the defenders are quite older compared to some of us. So you sort of, if you get that shot and you get that rebound, 9 times out of 10 really should try and beat them and
Yeah.
hope something comes of it.
A little bit quicker to the punch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So where did it all start for you, mate? Where did you start playing and how old were you?
I'll be honest with you, I played roller hockey from a young age. All my career as a kid was playing roller. I can remember coming out of school and there was a set of twins in my school and they said about going down to watch them play. So I went to watch them play, not thinking that when I get there, their coach will turn around and say, yeah, mate, there's some kit, go for it. And then, it literally started from roller hockey. And then I played roller for a good 10 years. And it got to a point where I kind of got fed up with hockey as a kid.
Oh.
And I suppose I was coming through that sort of, I want to be out with my mates, I'm not interested in playing hockey. And then I sort of set myself a target within the roller hockey world and said, I want to try and play for Great Britain, which I did. I've done the 2.5 years for Great Britain. Kept on at my mum and dad saying, can I play ice hockey, can I play? But as a kid, I mean, I don't know if many people know it, as a kid, ice hockey is so expensive.
Yeah.
And that is what it comes down to. You either pay £180 a month for ice hockey or £40 for roller hockey. And at that time, it was best for me to do roller hockey. And it was only till I was sort of 16, and I don't know if you know him, Brandon Ailiff.
Yes.
He kept saying to me, and we're good friends with his family, and I kept saying, come ice hockey. And then, I went down to Romford at the time. I started with Romford. Didn't really get a lot of ice time, and then Brandon kept saying, come over to Chelmsford. So I come over, done the Warriors, and then obviously went to the Chiefs. And I wouldn't look back from there onwards, mate.
No, absolutely brilliant.
Best move I've done.
And is it a different discipline between the roller and the ice? I mean, I played a little bit of inline hockey when I was younger, and I was in the same boat. I couldn't afford to do ice hockey.
Yeah.
And I ended up sticking with football. But obviously, like things like the stopping and stuff must be different.
Oh yeah, massively. Even on things like offside, there's no such thing as an offside or icing in a roller hockey rink. You go wherever you want and do whatever you want to do at any point. I think with that was the biggest thing for me. Like, I mean, even now, some of the rules, I'm like, why is everyone shouting for? I don't really get what's happened there. But I suppose that's because I was sort of used to being able to do what you want in that sense. Being that with ice hockey, the rules are a lot more stricter and sort of hard to get your head around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got a favourite goal in your career, be it from roller or from ice?
I have, to be honest. Yeah, it would probably for roller would have been when I was a kid. Literally, I think it was an open net, and someone put the ball through, and I was virtually on the goal line, but I had no choice but to sort of dive and stretch for it and hit it. And I'll never forget it. And I've done it, and it just went in. And like I've always, there was a guy playing roller called Biscuit, and they used to call him Biscuit because he'd shoot from all angles, no matter how round the rink was, he'd shoot and he'd get the goal in. And I always got named after that fella. And yeah, that was probably my roller hockey. And ice hockey, I'd like to say probably recently this season against Invicta.
Yeah.
When I had the chance in the high slot, and I mean I didn't even know where the goal was, so it was pot luck, to be honest. And I just let that puck go, and I just heard that crossbar team, and then everything went mad. So that's probably one of the highlights for me in ice hockey, to be honest.
Yeah, you did score a cracking one up at Milton Keynes.
I was going to say Milton Keynes.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard. But it's same with Milton Keynes. I mean, I'm always one of them players. I don't really go down on a goalie and deep. If I get that chance to shoot, I'll just shoot. I always feel like I've got more chance of scoring if I shoot than trying to deep round a goalie. But that one there was just a rare occasion. But
yeah, that's two very different goals that we're talking about there, isn't it? The Invicta one.
Oh yeah, massively. I don't think I've ever sort of felt like I pulled a goalie's pants down, but that Milton Keynes game, I think I did.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. His arse was showing. In training, then, which one of our defencemen gives you the hardest time? So, like, who would you most hate to play against out of our team?
I'd like to say everyone, to be honest with you. I think our defence this year is so young, so sort of when you're coming down on them, they've got the same. I don't want to say that I'm too young. I'm kind of young as well, so I'd say like they've kind of got the same. All of them have got the same speed and ability as like myself or anyone else. And I think because they're so young, it's just so tough to come against anyone.
Yeah, they're all very tenacious.
I would probably say someone like Callum or Dan Hitchens.
Yeah.
Because you come down on them, they'll pin you against the balls. And, I mean, maybe not the case for some people, but to me, they're quite big geezers. So once I'm pinned on that ball, that's it, I'm stuck. So, yeah, I'd say them two personally in training.
Have you managed to get the better of lids in training?
I can't really say. I don't know, really, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't really take much notice on who's in front. I've always just sort of tried to just go down on anyone. Yeah,
I mean, the more I watch Lids play, he's just so well versed in the dark arts.
Oh yeah, no. You know what? I've never spoken to him before or anything like that. But I think he's a top fella, mate. When you talk to him in the change rooms and even on the ice, like a couple of times, I've scored a few good goals in training and things like that, and he'll come out and he'll be like, "Oh, TJ," and you just think like, he's a top fella.
Yeah, I think he was probably one of the most crucial signings that we made, just to have that experience in the team, because Neil's done it. He's been there. He's played here. He's played there. He's so much experience.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. I don't think I've ever seen anybody take so many shots and like block so many shots as that man does.
Oh,
and like even on the weekend just gone, someone said something in the change room about him blocking the shots and that, and he literally sat around like, "Yeah, I love it." Yeah. And I don't think I know anybody that loves to block a shot, especially from the Barclays if you're in training.
Oh God, yeah, especially if you're not a netminder as well.
Yeah, I mean, I took one shot. Well, I took two shots. I think it was off of both of them last year. Straight away, I knew. Broke my toe straight away. Yeah.
So when we skate out onto the ice for the game, you're normally the second in line behind the netminder. Is that a superstition for you?
I suppose it is now. It wasn't at that point. I mean, when I first sort of come in, it weren't. I don't really have nothing in that sense that, like superstition or nothing. I just sort of lace up, kit up, and I'm ready to go. But I think it's something like, if I'm not there, Cameron will start shouting out, "Where's TJ? Where's TJ?" And it's sort of one of them things that I sort of got pushed to that point to be the second one out.
Yeah.
So I'm always sort of the second one walking out, but one of the last ones on the ice, because then I'll stand there and sort of get everyone, when everyone goes through, I'm like, "Come on, boys, here we go, here we go."
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's nothing superstitious. It's just something that I've sort of got pushed into, and I just continued it on with.
So you're probably one of Cam's superstitions now, that he wants you in a certain place.
Probably, yeah, probably. Yeah, to be fair, there is a kind of superstition. It's not really, it involves me, but it's not my superstition. Matt Turner, I don't know if you've ever noticed, when we do our warm-up, he asked me to go round in a circle a couple of times.
Oh, right.
So he'll be sitting on the halfway line with a puck. Everyone will come into the corner to get ready to do our one-on-ones. And I'll sort of go round in a circle, and then when I get that chance, I'll go round and he'll pass the puck across. But he'll sort of sauce it across. But that's his superstition. It's not mine, but I kind of got dragged into that one as well. So.
Yeah, Jules did tell me last week, actually. He said if you ever ask Matty about superstitions, he'll have you there for hours because he's got so many.
Yeah, he always says to me as well, don't forget Louis, don't forget. I mean, there's a couple of times I have forgot, and it's sort of last minute, think, oh God, I've got to go.
So when we're on the ice, then after you've done your sort of your thing to come out, you tend to warm up the goalie. Is that your job?
It is now, I suppose. I don't think anyone sort of put their name forward for doing it now, but I mean, it's been one of them things. I can't even remember who done it before, and then Sonny was starting in there, and he was like, "Yeah, come and warm me up." And I've never done it before, and I was kind of like, "Oh God, look, I ain't got the greatest of shots compared to some of these people." Yeah, so I've sort of done that for Sonny, and then that's just rolled into whoever was backing up at that time.
Yeah,
sort of rolled into it. But I've kind of got used to it now. I don't mind doing it. I enjoy doing it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not just, especially just to get their arms and shoulders moving, and it so they can.
Yeah, and I think sometimes before when I didn't do it, and you go around in a circle and you're passing, sometimes it feels so long, like it's never ending. So for me, like I don't take no notice. I'm just busy with Luca, Sonny, Peter, whoever it is. I'm just busy with them. So it ain't so much standing around in that sense.
Yeah. Who would you say is the best player you've ever played with?
Best player. I've got a big Grant and Cam up for that one.
Yeah, equally.
Yeah. They've always been one of them players that when you sort of play against them, they're always rough. You know they're always going to score goals. And I can remember when I first come to Chelmsford, I think it was Grant said to me, "I bet you're glad to be here playing with us, playing with me and Cam rather than being against us." So I knew him at the time, but I didn't know him. And sort of being with them every week and seeing some of the goals that they score. I mean, for them, I'd say they've got to be the best ones.
Yeah, they certainly are. In Chelmsford's history, they'll probably go down as two of the best that they've ever had there.
Definitely. And I'd like to throw Turner in the mix of that as well, because I think his hands are unbelievable.
Yeah, I would agree, actually. Jules was saying last week how he found Matty as one of the most impossible players to get the puck off. Yeah,
I mean, you watch him play and he's so casual, but 9 times out of 10, if he's coming down on the one-on-one with that goalie, he's pulling their pants down, 100%.
Is there anything special to your number? You wear number 3, which has been part of the song that I made up for you.
That's a good one.
In your intro to this thing, Casey's in the Sunshines Band, Give It Up.
Yeah.
Is your number 3 special?
Honestly, not at all.
No?
I had nothing to do with that number. It was just something that I got sort of thrown with. And I just
it's quite a low number for a forward, isn't it? A forward normally have something slightly higher.
Yeah. I mean, all my hockey career, I always played, like roller hockey, I always played with 31. So I kind of guess I can cover it up and say, yeah, it's close to 31, having the number 3.
Just missing the 1.
Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing special with that whatsoever.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with any number. Whatever number I had, I'll be happy with.
Yeah. Do you follow the NHL at all?
Not really. I mean, I do on Instagram.
Yeah.
I always, it sounds kind of bad. If I'm sitting in traffic in the morning and it's solid, I sort of have a look at the old highlights on the old phone holder in the van.
Yeah.
But not massively. But I mean, I know what's going on, so sort of up to date with it from
Well,
following it.
you don't have a team. You don't have a preferred team.
Yeah, I've always been Pittsburgh. I've always sort of followed Pittsburgh, if anything, out of them. But I mean, I couldn't tell you their whole team roster this year or things like that.
Honestly, I mean, there's so much of it over there. It's so hard to keep up with. Like 3 games a week, and
oh yeah, it's massive.
The outdoor classics, and then the retro season. And that is so hard to keep up with.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I have heard on a few things. It should be coming back to London, if not next year, the year after.
Do you know what? I'd take that because I was saying to my family actually. My cousin's just travelled Canada, and I said to her, "Listen, try and get tickets for hockey." I said, "If you go hockey, you'll beat me to it. I've played hockey all my life, and I've never been and watched an NHL game."
No.
And I've looked into it, but I've got to wait for the seasons to stop because I don't want to miss our games for
no, of course,
something like that. So if that comes to London, mate, that'd be perfect. I'll be there.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's going to be Leafs against Rangers, and we're probably talking minimum £300 a ticket.
That's fine.
So
that's fine. I'll be there.
You do love a big sporting event. You were at the Tyson Fury Derek Chisora fight recently, weren't you, at Tottenham's ground?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that was good.
Are you a boxing fan?
I am, mate. I am big time.
Yeah.
Big
you ever had a go?
Nah. I'll be honest, I've never really been pumped, so I don't think I've fancy it. I always think that people could take, like, these boys, Bartlett's and Bailey and that, to take punches left, right and centre. And I always sit there and I think, like, I wonder what it feels like to actually be smacked like that.
You might have just set yourself up here. If, one of the other teams watches this, I think they might come for you.
Listen, if it creates something in the game, I'll take it. I don't care. I don't care. I'll always try and give it back. I mean, I'm not going to be one that goes out and starts it all, but if someone wants to start, I'm always there to give it back to them.
I think if you ever get the chance to have a go at boxing, I would absolutely tell you to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always heard from sort of other athletes and that boxing training, like the fitness side of it's unbelievable. And I mean, like, obviously, I follow boxing loads now. And, like, you see the training, what they go through. And it's like, it does look good and intense.
Yeah, it is.
So,
I mean,
I think
I've done it at quite a low level. I started off, I did charity white collar, which is just 8 weeks of training, and then you fight, and you're not fit enough after 8 weeks. It took me 2 years to be fit enough to do 3 2-minute rounds.
Yeah. See, I'd say, I don't believe in things like that. Like, I always sit there and think, during the off season, you can go gym. I could go gym and go on the pedal bikes or on a running machine, and until you sort of actually throw yourself in the deep end in that sport, you could go in that thinking you're so fit, and then at that moment in time, you're absolutely blowing. Yeah,
you can think you're as fit as you like, but you don't know how long 2 minutes is until it's in a boxing ring.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. But no, I'm a massive fan of boxing. I mean, I've been to loads of fights. I've only been to 2. But yeah, but it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of them things. It's stupidly expensive to go and watch. Even if you watch it at a low, like the small hall shows, it's really expensive to go and watch.
Yeah, see, I was lucky enough. My first fight that I went and watched, I was lucky enough to get VIP tickets for my birthday. So I was ringside for that one. So that was unbelievable.
Which one was that?
What's that?
What fight was that?
That was Craig Richards and Joshua Buatsi.
Cracking fight that was as well.
Yeah, and then obviously Tyson Fury. Again, I kind of got lucky with that, being that my cousin's a season ticket holder over Tottenham.
Yeah.
So he got an email come through to enter a draw for it. And then, we got that for £100 a ticket, which I don't think is too bad for a big fight.
No, that's not bad at all, is it?
No, I think it's wicked, mate, for that sort of price.
Have you got any other hobbies at all?
Bit of football, don't mind football. I've always been a big fan of snooker.
Oh yeah,
quite a rare one. But my dad, like, as a kid, he sort of played at a high level and that, and it's something that we've always done. Not so much recently, but on a Thursday night we've always gone down to snooker hall and had a game of snooker against each other and that before training.
Yeah.
So but I mean, in general, I'm up for any sport. I always feel like I'm that kind of person where if I'm half decent at any sport that I do, to be honest.
Yeah, that's quite handy, isn't it? I always had to work incredibly hard to be distinctly average.
Yeah. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, I say I'm half decent, but when it comes to things like snooker or even a game of darts, never beating anyone. Always on the losing end of it.
I've got a couple of questions from the listeners here, if you don't mind asking them.
Yeah, no worries.
Lucy Fay has asked, and I'm sure this is asked with all sort of sincerity, that does your stature, obviously being similar to me, quite vertically challenged, does it make you more aerodynamic on the ice? Because you are incredibly fast when you get going.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, they always say, like, the smaller people are like little whippets, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I'd say I'm definitely one of the smaller ones in there. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, it does, definitely. 100%. But I like it like that, to be honest. I think I'd rather be how I am now than be massively tall and not being able to move.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was the same until I stopped doing any sort of fitness training and got a bit overweight. And now I'm not overweight, I'm under tall.
Yeah.
If I was 6'1", I'd be perfect weight.
Yeah. I mean, being small like that is... Mark always says to us in the changing rooms, you know what you're good at.
Yeah.
And if you're a good skater or a good stick handler or a good shooter, that's what you've got to go do. And for me, I know I'm not a massive goal scorer. I don't score a lot of goals, but I know I'm quick. So in that sense, that does help me to be quick, I suppose.
Yeah, and I mean, you can break through the lines then, can't you? When you're quick, you can get through that defensive line and maybe set up your teammates.
I try to, unless I'm coming against some absolute giant who's trying to stop me from coming through.
And got a question here from Maddie that says, what's your personal ambition for the season?
Always try and be better than last season.
Yeah?
Always, yeah. I mean, I don't think, me personally, I don't think I had a good season last year at all. I'd say it's one of my worst seasons that I've had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but not a sympathy thing or nothing. But I obviously, like I said to you earlier, I've been renovating a property to flip over and sell. So last year, I was sort of every night was working, and then I was training, and I think I sort of didn't get no time to myself to sort of rest up. So I'd say it sort of had an effect on me in that sense that, I don't know, I just didn't seem like I was with it. So like for me this year is to be much better than last year. And I'd say I've got off to a good start. I mean, I feel like I'm sort of up there in the mix with not with the massive big boys like the Bartletts and that, but I'm still in the background somewhere.
But it does feel now like everyone is kind of gelling, because there's a lot that left and then a lot of new people that came in.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, these last few games have sort of proven it. Even like that game on the weekend there on Sunday. Like, when have you ever seen us get off to a game that quick as a good start and 2-3-0? So, I mean, I think that tells you something within itself.
Yeah, I mean, what you did to us in the third period with a squeaky bum time, we've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah, but yeah, that is. I think we just dropped down to their level. We sort of got to a point, I think, where we was 3-0 up and we just thought in the first period it's going to be a walkover. When obviously when you're coming against the name Romford juniors, they're not going to slow down. They're young kids. They're going to keep coming forward.
Yeah,
which they did, and I think we just got sort of caught running around. But don't worry about that. Anyway, we pulled through that.
We pulled through it. It was great. We had us in the crowd, especially down. I sort of sit down opposite the Zamboni entrance.
Yeah.
And we all had some real good fun with TJ Anderson.
Yeah.
After he scored, he was blowing kisses and pulling his shirt. And
he's one of them players that I've always played with him as a junior. Even on the ice, he's always sort of had good fun with him.
Yeah.
We're always mouthing off, especially now he's got his visor on.
Yeah, he had a bit of a mouth off. He got a bit of stick back, but then it was all, fist pumps and smiles at the end, despite obviously the fact they lost the game. So
that's what I say. It's all for your entertainment. All that squeaky bum time, and when we start letting them come back, it's to keep all you lot on the edge of your seats.
Well, I think that's what's attracting a lot of people to the sport over the last couple of years. I think the popularity of it has grown quite quickly, and I think that's what it is, because rugby, football, with other sports, it just doesn't happen that quick. I mean, I've spoken about it a few times on the podcast. The Bristol semi-final in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and we were winning 3-0 with a minute and 57 to go.
Yeah,
and it went to overtime.
But it's crazy.
What other sports
like that?
Yeah, so it's absolutely incredible. I think I did mention earlier that I don't think the crowd was particularly large last night, but I think coming up to Christmas time, I think people have things planned, and there was possibly the threat of a white dusting last night that may have put a few people off travelling.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely been a lot more people though. I mean, I don't know, you probably know my mum was going around shouting out 50-50.
Oh, is that your mum, is it?
Yeah, that's my mum, yeah.
I had absolutely no idea that was your mum. Yeah, I always say hello to her when we get there. She did say to me after the first episode of the podcast I'd done that she hasn't got social media or anything, but she'd heard it was doing really well.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. She's bigging you up, saying about how much of a lovely man you are.
Oh, no.
But she, to be fair, she always says when she comes home, and obviously they're on before me, and she always saying that there's new people coming in, and she like something last week she said to people, have you been before? And they'll be like, no, and then she tries to sort of explain there might be a bit of fighting here and there, and people kind of seem a bit surprised by that. But I can guarantee you, once it kicks off like that, I mean, you'll probably love it yourself.
Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of new people, which is good though, because it keeps the ticket sales going. I suppose it's a bit of competition for the fans to try and get in to watch the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know that probably the signing of Peter helped with that exponentially.
Yeah.
To try and get that popularity out there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And that will continue to do that. Is it? I mean, obviously you're a football fan. Is it a bit weird being in the same team as Petr Cech?
I mean, I suppose at first it's kind of surreal. You kind of get used to it now.
Yeah.
I mean, no one at my work believed that Petr Cech was signed for us at that point, and everyone thought I was lying. And I will never forget this. And I was sitting in the cafe one day for lunch, and all the boys was with us, and my phone pinged. I thought, oh, what's that? And I looked at my phone, and it was Petr Cech requested to follow you back on Instagram. So I turned around and was like, hey, boys, what do you reckon? Don't believe me, no? And yeah, everyone was sort of surprised that he had come and played for us, as was probably all of us was. None of us knew that he was coming down the first training session and that, but...
Well, I was going to say, I don't want to get you in trouble if you're not allowed to say, but there was quite a weird request that went out with the Black and Gold Army that all of a sudden, this was about 4 or 5 weeks ago, that training sessions were not to be attended anymore.
Yeah.
By anybody. Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, this announcement comes out. Was that the reason? Was Peter training with us for a couple of weeks?
No, it's got nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that at all. Nothing. I mean, the juniors, because some of the juniors, they're on before us when we get on.
Yeah.
And all their parents was down there, and obviously the first time he stepped on the ice, everyone's taking photos and that. But yeah, no, it's nothing to do with that whatsoever.
No.
Which I think is a shame in a way, because especially during the half term, that used to get a lot of kids come down and sort of watch the training and like being around us guys and that, which was good, I suppose. You sort of interact with them. So I mean,
yeah, I think the signing table's been a really good innovation for the club, because the young fans especially, they absolutely love that time that they get with you guys after the game. But I mean, not just the young ones, I do as well. I come and say hello and have a picture and get a signature and whatnot. So it's not just for the young ones, but it's I think it's really good.
It is good though, because like I suppose for the kids, I always look at it and think like the kids are so happy to see you. It's like as if we're all superstars to them.
Yeah.
But when we're not, we're just like yourself and anyone else. And I suppose doing the signing table, it does sort of give you that chance to speak to the parents and the kids themselves. Because sort of when you're walking out, everyone wants fist bumps, but you don't actually get the sort of chance to talk to anyone. That's why when we were all standing there getting ready to come on the ice for the first time, all the kids are there. They're always sort of there asking things out, and I always try and interact with them. Do you think like they don't get that opportunity to do anything like that? But now with that signing table, it does give them the chance to interact, and I suppose get to know you a little bit better rather than just sort of seeing you and waving at you through the plexiglass. Yeah, which
I think they all enjoy. But it's a good chance, isn't it, for you guys to, as you say, interact with the fans, and especially for the young ones to realise that yes, you might be their favourite player and a superstar to them, but you're just a normal guy and you're easy to talk to. And
100%, mate. Yeah, we are like everybody else. Go to work, play hockey. that is our life, mate. That is it.
And it's quite a life, isn't it, with all the late nights and the travelling, and that is
massively. Do you know what? To be honest, I was thinking earlier. I thought like I didn't know some of the questions would come in about the commitment for it and that. But yeah, it's the late nights and that. It is tough, especially. I mean, I heard it from Jules last week. They get home a lot later than I do. I'm only in Rockford, so I'm 20 minutes away. But
yeah,
I'll get home and go to bed. What's that?
He's in Northampton, isn't he, Jules? So that's like
that's tough. I mean, not so much on a Wednesday, but a Friday morning after training Thursday night. That's my worst morning.
Yeah,
it is tough, but that's all we know now.
Yeah, I suppose when it becomes a routine, then
massively,
probably a bit easier for you.
No, definitely. I mean, I was thinking earlier, like when the season's finished, you get so used to being Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. When the season's finished, it's so boring, and you kind of feel lost because you don't know what to do. But
do you go back to roller in the summer?
No, not now. I haven't played roller for the last 6-7 years now. I'll be honest with you. What we tend to do in the summertime is that the ice is quite expensive to hire out, even just for an hour. So in the summertime, we always sort of get a group chat going, and anyone that we know within the hockey world, could be anyone from Romford, Streatham, anyone that you know, just gets added into the group, and we'll try and organise like a summer training camp.
Oh, right.
So like not so much straight away, but maybe 2-3 weeks after the season's finished, we'll sort of do it. So if you want to come down, you pay £10 to cover the ice, obviously amongst everyone, and just get a game going. And that is something that I've always done from the off season, because I kind of like to keep going rather than just lounge around. And you do get that routine, because again, it's a late night as well, so you're still used to the training when it comes to the normal season time.
Yeah, oh, that's brilliant. But TJ, thank you so much for joining me tonight on the podcast. And so this first one, hopefully this all works out technologically, that I can get this on YouTube and get the audio on the podcast. Otherwise, I'm calling you on the phone and we could do this all over again.
I'm sure you'll be fine, mate. You seem like you sort of know what you're doing. I'm
gradually getting the grasp of it. I have asked Santa for some new equipment so that I can try and do it a little bit more properly. So.
Well, as long as you've been a good boy, you'll be all right.
I think I've been a good boy. I've got to keep my little recording room tidy.
I'm sure you'll do well.
That is what Santa's told me.
Yeah, you'll do well, mate.
Thank you so much for joining us, and good luck for the rest of the season.
No problem. Nice one. Keep going. Keep supporting the way you all are, and see you later.
Cheers, mate.
Nice one. Cheers, mate.